Whoa, this guy just walked out of your field?
Right here, walked right out there,
Oh,
walked
you mean
up
like
to
a
my
legitimate
harvester.
tortoise?
Yeah,
Oh,
tortoise.
I didn't know if it was the name of like one of these machines. So I was like, what's a tortoise?
Rice harvest is really slow. They should name the harvester a tortoise.
A rice tortoise. Well, I mean, it is a rice tortoise if he just came out of the field, huh?
Well, I walked right up to my green machine and said, "Are you my daddy? Or are you my mama?" That's what I figured.
So a buddy out of Vermont, who was the guy, our mentor, Eric Andrews with Bound Brook Farms. He's the original duck rice farmer in America, and he actually trained under.
You and him are like the only ones doing it in America,
Yeah,
right?
these are the duck rice fields.
Which I believe this is your guys' third season doing this, or is this? Or is it be fourth?
Well, we have year 0, which was like kind of our year to fail.
Which was 2022, right?
That was 2021.
21. Okay.
Yeah, we had ordered all this equipment. We ordered the ducks. Equipment got here in July, well after we could have planted anything. The ducks got here like 2 weeks early before any of the fields were ready. Ducks lived in our garage for like a month while we finished making the fields up and, you know, installing the duck shack and everything. Again, the well installed. It was, yeah, we had to do a lot to get water out there.
Here's some ducks here.
Oh, hey. How you guys doing? Want some food? They're always hungry.
Your dad was feeding them the mealworms.
Oh yeah?
They're like going nuts.
Oh, no, don't let me do it. So yeah, this is kind of like a hybrid or duck rice field. We normally we do a transplanting and have the rows for the ducks to maneuver. What we do here is we fly the rice on just like we normally would, and then we just let the ducks go out there and see what they can do. And they'll just carve their own paths through this field. And you almost don't even need the plant, you know, the row planting and everything, but this definitely, it still gets the job done. You know, there's very little weeds out there, and it actually has filled in a crazy amount. You guys don't even understand, like about 2-3 weeks ago. See how about 20 feet out there, the rice starts? It was about 60 feet out. Oh, wow. I don't know where all this came from. There was a big bald patch over there. It was just like,
so it just filled in.
It filled in completely. We're looking out there like, oh man, those ducks destroyed the rice. We thought so, at least.
And so we know this was planted in May.
Yeah.
End of May, or
yeah, end of May.
End of May. So this is 2 months old.
Yep.
2-month-old rice. These were seeds about 60 days ago. And how will the rice continue to get taller for a period of time before blooming? Or
yeah, it'll get about another 10 inches taller, probably.
10 inches taller, and then after that, it'll start to bloom.
Yeah, it'll go to vegetative state. The panicle initiation starts, which is where where the seed will form. It kind of grows out of the stem, and then each of the stems, and then eventually it goes to reproduction, self-pollinates, and then it goes into the milking phase where the rice hulls fill up. And then it hardens, and then after it's hard enough and it's matured, no longer green kernels, we'll harvest it in probably mid-October.
Mid-October.
Yeah.
So we're about a little more than 90 days out.
Yeah.
And when we were talking to your dad, and he was telling us, because you have to have the ducks out 90 days before harvest.
Yep.
So that's like another way that you can kind of count back.
Exactly.
So it's like minus 90 days, which means that there's maybe another week or so of ducks in the field, right?
Exactly, yeah. And then they'll go into the duck pond, which I can show you over here. So what normally happens is we get the ducks right on time, about a week before we're ready to transplant. We release them into the fields when they're a week old. And they just get to, you know, they get comfortable, they recognize, you know, this is a habitat, and they just start mowing the fields. What happened this year was we didn't have the equipment to, you know, we're broke, and we all of our equipment's broken down, And the people usually rent from our neighbor, he didn't have a tractor for us this year. So we had to rent a tractor, rent a rototiller, and then we got this all done about finished and transplanted 3 weeks after we got the ducks. So the ducks were behind schedule on their whole learning curve and taking them out, showing them what they're really supposed to be doing. So this year, not optimal, but we have this 6-row weeder that goes on, take the transplanting unit off and put the weeder on. And we just go down the rows and it mows the weeds down just fine. And then that allows for the ducks to kind of make their way back through the field and start cleaning up what they couldn't climb through.
Because basically, once weeds get too big, the ducks are no longer effective.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Like they're not gonna take down stuff like that.
No.
So if you have stuff like that, that's what the weeder does, and then the ducks can clean up any stragglers that come up later.
Exactly.
Right?
Like last year.
And they also get whatever invertebrate pests or like insects or
they eat those all day.
Snails or whatever else is in the field that, you know. I imagine some of those can create problems, but some of those, maybe they're just there, but the fact that they ate them and they pooped means
More
instead of those nutrients are tied up in the snail, they're available to your plant.
Absolutely, yeah. And like in Southeast Asia, the golden snail problem is massive, just decimates crops. And these guys eat the larvae, eat all the eggs of this golden snail, and eat the snails themselves. And, you know, that's why they actually use the duck rice method a lot over there in Southeast Asia.
Wow.
And we will be hopefully getting an opportunity to go teach a farm in a province in Thailand how to do duck rice farming. They're going to try and convert from conventional chemical farming and just go full regenerative in that province.
Yeah.
And so we had some students from Southeast Asia out here a few months ago, part of the Future Leaders program with the State Department, and we had 13 countries. 25 students from 13 countries out here. And one of them was like so impressed. They're like, we're writing a grant. We're writing you into the grant so you can come be an advisor and a speaker to help this initiative that we're doing here to help convert the province more toward regenerative farming, rice farming.
Skip over the water. And I presume that's a grant to their government, to their Thai government?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you said 13 countries. Were those all countries like in and around Southeast Asia?
All the Southeast Asia.
All Southeast Asia. Wow, that's really cool.
And I apologize if there might be more or less than 13. I remember there being 13.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a massive opportunity. I can't even comprehend it still. My dad ran and got my official company attire here.
Yeah.
Now we got both of our duck shirts.
That's so awesome. Father and son.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He made me louder.
The yellow ducks.
The yellow ducks.
I mean, I think if it's your personality, like I'm not sure if it's now cognitive bias because I've seen you wearing it, but I could picture you just wearing that like in Hawaii on vacation or just hanging out at the mall or whatever.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Should see me at the farmer's market.
Oh man, him at look behind you there.
You got a following.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a better illustration of what the ducks can do the first about 100 feet out there. That's what the whole field should look like. Nice, clean rows. And then the white or the light green stuff out there is watergrass, actually, which is one of the most nasty weeds. But we are going to use that weeder. We're going to get that thing unstuck.
That one right there.
Yep, and we're going to go walk on down that way.
Oh, yeah.
There's a path.
There is a path. Oh, is a chosen path. Yes, it is.
So are we walking through the water grass right now? Or
This is barnyard grass.
Yeah, it's the cousin.
This is what you would call the dry land water grass.
Ah.
Basically the same dang thing, except for that grows in the field and this grows on dry land. This will not grow in the water at all.
Yeah.
There's a really good example of
There's
the.
much
That's what it's
closer look
supposed to
right
be.
there. See how they're just kind of walking through, doing their thing, eating the weeds. Making this row, that guy's munching down. But yeah, once we get that weeder unstuck, we can start making our rows again. It looks like you hit this once already.
Yeah, this is done.
Yeah, I hit it again and
It'll be beautiful.
oh yeah.
Well, all that green will just be trampled into the ground and
Hey.
look just like this.
Found the other variety.
Is that it right there?
Yeah.
Those 2 rows?
Yep, that's exactly it. That's hilarious. So yeah, what you're looking at here all this was one flat field when we started in 2020, 2021. This was a 17-acre field, and we turned it into 5 3-acre checks, about a 1-acre duck pond,
And a 1-acre check in the
and a 1-acre check in the far corner, and these 2 irrigation ditches. So we basically bring the water in from the well about 1,000 feet away across the property. Use a lay flat irrigation system to get it over to the duck pond. Fill this whole thing. Water boxes flood each field. We can control the water depth and everything individually. So we can do parallel rapid experimentation, different varieties, different possible growing methods. The list goes on about the flexibility. And that was kind of the original plan. Just make this a giant test bed for experimental duck rice and regenerative farming.
And seed farming.
And seed farming, yeah. So in that field, we have Koshi Hikari and Kali Hikari. Koshi Hikari is like the best Japanese rice you can grow. It's the gold standard. So we're going to be growing that for some Michelin star restaurants this year, and whoever else wants to buy it. But we have some interest, which is really cool. And they also want the duck too. The duck is a secondary crop. And the crazy thing about the ducks is once we can start, we finally got the sales network built up with the restaurants and everybody. So normally in regular rice systems, you got your chemicals, you got your fertilizers, and you got all these like
herbicides and insecticides.
Yeah. And those are all sunk costs. You don't get that cost back, you just accept that loss.
Averaging around $600 an acre.
Yeah. But with the ducks, once you sell the ducks, the ducks are your weed control, your pest control, and your fertilizer. And then you sell the ducks at the end of the season, and you get to recoup all of your input costs that you normally wouldn't
double it.
And double it, and you wouldn't get to. So from the math I was doing, after everything, I think we making like $1,200 an acre, which is normally, off the ducks alone. So that means we're a net positive for planting.
Already.
And then we get to harvest, So we're like, there's no loss at all, really. Once you start selling the ducks at a good price and in quantity, they cover the cost, and you make some money off of it.
Which I would imagine that you have way more demand for ducks than you can supply ducks.
Oh yeah.
People want a lot more ducks than
Like this is enough for like 2 or 3 restaurants if they're like
for a week.
For like a week or a month or something, depending on how big and busy they are. So the ducks definitely the supply does not meet the demand once it gets going. That's what we're finding now.
Once they find out what our duck is all about.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. This is 15 hours a day raised on weeds in the field. They're grass fed for 15 hours, and they come home and eat organic food for the rest of their life. Every night they come home and they get bed and fed. And
then we feed them our rice too, fatten them up with that at the end. And so these are, organic free range, regenerative ducks until they're processed, because the processor has to be organic too, and there's no organic duck processors around here. So they're like 99% organic. That's the only, they just.
So if you were to go into if you wanted to put these on a supermarket shelf, you technically would not be able to put the organic label.
Correct.
Because there isn't an organic USDA duck processing.
Exactly.
So really, you're only able to market these as organic through word of mouth, through relationships that you built, which clearly you're building. And I mean, that's a big part of
they
the
understand
work of
that
organic farming is relationship building.
Yes.
Yeah, they know who we are as people and how much we care about doing the right thing.
The passion that we have for it.
And they're like, we don't need the organic label. It's the system and everything you guys do speaks volumes. Yeah. So this has been just the joy of our life, adventure of a lifetime, and we'll show you the currently incapacitated weeder. Just don't trip on any of these cables here. You did a number, Dad.
Yep, I put it in the ditch.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So what happened here, this is where the water flows into the field.
When
And
I
it's
first
just-
came through here, it wasn't that deep.
Yeah. And it has just slowly been eroding away and softening in this area here. And now it's a giant sinkhole.
Yeah,
But this thing is normally a beast and it can handle anything.
it will not move.
It won't move.
You can see how the water's flowing downhill through my tracks.
Yeah.
We fill it through the top check and work our way down.
It's interesting seeing the contrast here between, like, the ducks have done so much work right here because they're right next to this little
Yep.
road
The
where they
reason
can hop
that-
in and out,
Yes.
right? But
Oh, yeah,
can
you
say
could
as
you could
well.
totally see, yeah, like
You
that
could-
that whole field should look like that strip. And it normally does every year.
Well, why that's like that is because I walk to the corner of the field every day. I will take the ducks out. Like this one here, I just only done a few times. That's why it's looking like this, just a few times. I literally walk down 1,400 feet, make a right, go across the check, and as the ducks follow me, I walk back and they follow me in each row. And they literally, this is the deep spot. They come right here and they won't go another foot out into the field. They just follow me.
And this is partly what you're another
the
a
forage-
factor of what you were saying about the foraging behavior.
Exactly.
Different varieties or different. I say varieties. Varieties is for rice.
right.
Yeah, different breeds.
Different
Breeds
breeds.
are for
Yeah.
ducks, where you feel like, in part, if you had had the Peckins, they would have been more aggressive getting out
Oh
there.
gosh.
Like
don't-
And they wouldn't have nearly as much of that follow the leader behavior that you're describing.
Yeah.
Where you're the leader and they're following you.
Exactly.
So they're only foraging the places where you walked.
That's it.
Yeah,
And you can
they're-
follow the path all the way through the field where they've been, because it's only this wide.
So the Peckins both have better foraging behavior and they get larger faster than these Muscovy ducks. What compelled you to try the Muscovies this year? Is it
The,
just a different breed, or was
Well,
it
we had done them the first
availability?
year. We
Okay.
just
And
kinda-
they were really successful.
they were really successful. So we're, again, third year. We're still ironing the wrinkles out and learning everything.
I got the ducks too early.
Yeah, that's what I told him earlier. Yeah, we got
It was
them.
his fault. He told me to do them early.
I did.
He
I did.
I'm following my
I
manager.
know.
This is my
That's
managers.
the brains, right?
That's
This
the
is
brains.
death by 1,000 cuts. That's what we call it in business. You know, it's like, oops, I forgot to mention. Just order them for 2 weeks later. And,
Yeah.
And then I text him like, when the ducks get in here? He's like, I think in a week and a half. And I'm like, oh no.
I feel like I could watch these ducks like at work eating.
That's what
Oh, yes.
I've been
So
wanting to do a
fascinating.
live stream
Yeah.
camera setup out here, and I just don't know how to make that
I wonder
happen.
if you could get like a duck cam.
Yes.
Like if you could probably put an action camera on a duck.
I was just gonna get like
and
a
follow around.
I was research. Oh, a duck cam. Yeah.
'Cause this action camera,
you're seeing.
this action camera is completely waterproof. This is the
Oh, yeah.
Action 5, but
We-
this one might be
we
a
need
little
the
large. Maybe you could get a
gyroscope
really
duck
small
cam.
one.
Yes.
This
You know,
way,
put
when
a
he's
little duck-
walking,
duck harness.
it just stays
We need the
perfectly balanced.
the AI, autonomous duck following camcorder.
That would work too.
They have the dog,
if,
right?
if you're able to get a robot that
A
can do
robot,
that,
exactly.
you might as well just have it like make all kinds of duck sounds.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they'll follow it around.
Yeah. We'll put some paddle
Oh
wheels.
yes,
We'll put some
that would
paddle
be-
wheels on it, and it'll just go down through the field, and it'll
Train
just-
it for us as we go.
It'll drop mealworms and they'll just follow it around. I'm not even joking. These are all ideas that we've had, we want to do. It's just
Once you get the
money.
Tesla bot.
Yeah. Tesla
Right
bot.
here on the back of this, having a mealworm dropper following us out there while we're cleaning the rows.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna follow us out.
You could cross, yeah, if you wanted to get out there.
If you hear that, you could.
You could.
Come upon ducks.
You get these guys down here.
Ducks in their native habitat.
This is a good representation of what the. So the whole fields normally look just like you're seeing here, nice and clean. You can see the weeds are all just munched at the
Hybrid.
base there of each rice plant. And the other cool thing about the ducks is they stimulate the plants, which kind of, how do I put it? It's kind of like bodybuilding for plants. They build themselves to be shorter and more stout because the constant stimulation. They're like, we gotta strengthen up. So we get these much shorter, stronger, and sturdier rice plants because of the ducks, which means at the end of the season,
They're
the
not
rice
gonna
doesn't
give it.
lodge or
You turkey
fall
rat.
over and lay flat in the field. And
Okay.
that can be no fun to harvest, and you could also risk mold and everything.
So you have less less losses to,
Made for
Exactly.
rice
to
farming.
lodging.
and higher quality,
Yeah.
higher quality grain. Yeah. Once we get this thing unstuck, I'm going to be taking it through this field like crazy.
It's also a neat little game to play, like spot the ducks.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. One of my crazy mad scientist ideas is it's going to look so cool if we could pull it off. But basically, you got these levees all the way down the fields here, right? And I was thinking we got lost one day coming back from Sacramento. We're out in the middle of nowhere outside of Marysville or whatever, and someone had a beautiful raised bed of lavender growing. And I was just like, that looks a lot like our levees, Dad. And I was like, could we plant lavender on all of our levees?
Random question. Do you remember if that was at Bayless Ranch?
I don't.
Don't remember? Okay.
No,
'Cause
we're-
there was a lavender farm we just drove by, Bayless Ranch, that was outside of Marysville. We passed it by because we were literally coming from
Yeah.
Marysville to get here. And I drove by it and I saw it and I remembered, holy crap, I went there like 3 years ago. Or 2
Yeah.
years ago. They were thinking about growing hemp.
This was their front yard they did this in.
Oh, I see.
Straight up
Yeah.
front yard. And I was like, that's so cool. And my dad, and I was thinking about like, wait, so we have, it's all organic certified. And then we have all these levees that's just bare dirt that's not getting used. I was like, hey, Dad, my dad's like, oh, we got about 10 miles of levee system. So we did the quick chat GPT math. And I was like, oh, they're about 4 feet wide. And, 10 miles, how many acres is that? It's like 4.5 acres that we could plant of lavender organically.
And make more than the rice.
And make more than the rice off of it.
Would the lavender tolerate like this kind of flooding? I mean, on the
No,
levee,
no.
it's not going to be submerged. but
Exactly.
still,
It just
its root
it went
system is gonna
sandy
be
soil. We would have to redo the top of the levee
Oh,
where
yeah. These would be turned into roads.
it was being roads at least 8 feet wide. Put the lavender down the middle. Put the rows where you can walk on each side of it this way, and in the middle would be more of a sandy loam soil.
Yeah, and we would then be able to harvest the lavender and actually walk down these rows. But I was also thinking, if you just double the width of your, like we're saying, 8 foot wide levees, you could turn them into just garden beds.
Yeah.
You'd have your
Self-watering,
self-watering.
all
Yeah.
the melons you could ever eat.
Yeah. So you would then just double the usage of your
Triple.
you wouldn't be that far away from like Aztec chinampas. You know what I'm talking about?
I
Like how
don't.
they used to grow. That's like, well, I was talking about this with your dad, like, because we were talking about subsidence because of irrigation, groundwater being drawn. But yeah, Mexico City used to be the capital of the Aztec Empire, and back in those days, it was like a lake, and they had built like flooded chinampas. They're basically patties.
Yeah.
But they had like floating gardens and stuff where they would make little boats out of reeds and
Right.
Willows and put soil on it, and they would grow stuff in it. So it was all like floating gardens.
That's
not
amazing.
unlike what you're describing.
That sounds beautiful.
Or it's like flooded, like this would basically be a sub-irrigated planter bed if you make it like super tall, right?
Exactly.
Tall levee.
Yep. That's what we're thinking. So yeah, then we just get all this extra organic land out of our rice fields, essentially. But could you imagine how cool that would look? Like this beautiful green, and then you got these outlines of the fields in purple.
Oh boy.
And then there's I've been talking with the Monarch Association. This gal, she teaches how to plant wildflowers for monarch habitats. And I was thinking, she's like, yeah, we come out, we could just throw wildflower seeds all over your property. So you just have wildflowers and butterflies
and ducks.
and ducks and lavender and all this beautiful stuff. And
Pops of
I know
color.
Yeah.
the monarchs really like that milkweed, right?
I'm still learning
Yeah.
about the monarchs,
Yeah.
but
Well, there are different organizations that give away milkweed plants for the preservation of the monarchs.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably part of it. And then there's also, wild bees, and you just got all these different flowers that the wild bees select for. And because, monoculture of honeybees also not a good thing.
It just comes down to getting it so that that's growing on these levees instead of the water grass, right?
Yeah. Oh, this would all be manicured. It would be like it would look totally different. We would lose a little bit of our, field of growable rice, but we would gain so much more in terms of just versatility and diversity of what we can offer.
And,
Yeah.
And at that point, that's when you're gonna have people like come in here. And
Oh, it'd be like a freaking photo shoot type,
Yeah.
you make money
That's the
selling
$50,000
selling
grant
the
we're shooting
mealworms
for.
to your
Yeah.
guests at like $5 a bucket.
Yeah.
They could just like feed the ducks.
I was thinking about like renting out drone airspace time, for photography. It's like, all right, you get this sunset.
That shed
you
will
know,
have nothing but rhodunda grass covering the whole thing, which rhodunda grass is what we call American bamboo. You see
we got
everywhere,
a bunch
the
of
little
it
skinny
growing.
stuff.
Yeah,
So
we
we're
turned
going to
that
cover
into
that whole thing with it, put a roof, put a deck on it, and photography.
Yeah, you get the best shots of the sunset out there overlooking the field, and it's just gorgeous out here at sunset. It's hard to describe.
I can imagine. Well, I mean,
We have some of
I
the
was
best.
already commenting on just how like
Wide open.
wide open this is. It's a beautiful valley. Those mountains in the distance, those coastal ranges look
There you go.
beautiful.
That's
The
how
hills.
that's what they do right there.
Oh, yeah,
They just
they
follow
follow
each
the
other.
leader.
Yep.
And when we were here at, I don't know, several hours ago, there were a ton of those little birds. What'd you call them? They were like
Snipes.
Snipes. Just
With the long beaks.
flapping around in circles.
Oh, really?
Yeah. they're like orange and purple. Look
Well,
like
oh,
almost.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, they're
And then we
amazing.
have a bunch of the smaller ones too, like this, like the baby snipes almost.
And I have been out here at sundown last time I was here, and yeah, just the sunset on the water, right?
Yep.
Because you can already see some of the reflection
Oh,
clouds
absolutely.
here in the water.
Yeah,
Even though this part is muddy, but that's how it is. Because this is like their main staging area.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Well, what happens is before we
Gives themselves mud
transplant,
baths.
you get this. It's this glassy surface for like about a week or 2, 3 weeks as the rice is emerging from the water after it's been planted for the whole valley. So you just have the most beautiful reflective surface to play with your drone or any kind of photography. And you got the sunsets and the sun's just streaking for miles across the water, and it's so much fun. It is so much fun to get out here and take photos. Oh, look at those
There they
guys.
are.
There they are.
Snipes.
Yep.
So yeah, there was like a whole flock of them just like going in circles, going in circles,
Beautiful.
and flying in formation. And I can imagine what it's like in the winter, because winter's when you have like the migratory fowl.
Yep.
Is that
Oh, we'll have tens of thousands of geese
is that
out
part
here.
of the, like, say,
in a field. In one field.
would you say
This
that's
check,
like the
this.
fact that there's so much migratory fowl, that's like a limiting factor for you to say like do winter ducks or something in your off season?
That's a good question, because you do have the bird flu you do have to contend with these days. But fortunately, we've had no issues out here since we started.
Like
But
no issues with any of your birds getting sick or
Nope.
anything like that?
no, hasn't happened.
Yeah.
And
Well, they've got a powerful immune system. I mean, this is not factory conditions. They're getting like real food, exposure to sunlight, plenty of vitamin D.
they're also introduced, probably building
Exercise.
building their immune system too,
Oh,
from
yeah.
encountering all kinds of stuff out here. So they're resilient. They're very resilient. But yeah, the winter, we're thinking about doing it, honestly, because in the winter there's still a bunch of food out here. You got decomposing, the fields are decomposing. You got so many water beetles, all kinds of crustaceans and everything out here. And we could have a second batch of ducks for like January, February to
Yeah,
the restaurants.
decomposing the rice straw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so many options.
As I understand it, a big part of why rice is grown here in general is that, like, when you have land like this, very clay, holds tons of water, rice is pretty much the only thing you can grow, right?
Yeah,
that's
like
it.
you couldn't grow walnuts on this land if you wanted to.
Right.
You
There's not
couldn't
a
grow
Yeah,
almonds.
we could. No problem. We could do anything. So what if we have miniature walnut trees the size of a duck?
Yeah.
Because they won't grow.
Pygmy walnut trees.
Pygmy walnut trees.
But are there other crops that would grow in this paddy system? And is it like, I mean, I'm sure there are, but it's just they haven't been commercialized yet, or no one has thought of
No.
doing
What,
them?
what we have is our soil content has so much rich diversity to it that we can now grow anything we want in this.
Yeah, after about 25 years of organic on this property, the organic matter of our soil percentage is like 6%.
Yeah.
When
The
normally,
average is 0.3 to
yeah, like 5, and like commercial farmland, it's stripped. Yeah, I remember we went to this Healthy Soils initiative
Yeah.
through the state. They're trying to like give grants out for people to do things that improve the soil, and their goal was like, if you guys can hit 4%, like that would be mind
You
blowing.
get a gold medal.
It would be mind blowing if you guys could do that. We're talking between 0 and like 1% on average for most commercial farmland. And we're like, we got it tested 6%. We're like, okay, so maybe we can probably grow a lot of different stuff in here.
Do some stuff.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
one thing I do want to address, you did kind of bring up with the migratory foul is one of the misconceptions about rice using all this water. So the thing about rice is it tolerates being flooded the entire season. So this was all floodplain and marshland before we built the aqueducts and the whole,
It's
the
exactly
water.
what it used to be.
It's exactly what it used to be before we had levees and like, all
It's
these
controlled now.
channels down, moving the water down south and everything and around the state. So flooding it, the rice tolerates it, so you don't have to worry about dryland weeds. You can just water this and let it dry out, water it and let it dry out, that'd be fine. But you would have so many weeds out there, it'd be insane. You would have people coming and just pulling weeds all day for the 500,000 acres we have in California of rice. Flooding the fields, it is actually really beneficial to the environment. A lot of this just evaporates off. It doesn't get, shipped off to other countries inside the product itself.
Or worse yet, like maybe the Great Lakes being taken up by all of China's ships. Did you realize that when they come in with a full ship, they leave with a full ship of water?
Yeah, they're just
Really?
stealing
Yes.
our water. A lot of our water gets exported in the food.
Yeah.
So
that's-
if
that
you're
was
growing-
happening down in Imperial Valley,
Mhm.
where it's like some of the hottest land, most expensive water,
Pistachios and
scarcest water, and they're farming alfalfa, and all the alfalfa bales go on these trains. They're exported through the port of Long Beach
yeah,
to Saudi Arabia.
yeah, exactly. Like you don't
There's
think
our
about
water.
it. You don't
There
think
it
about it, but
goes.
that water is not returning to the ecosystem. You know,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not. You're moving it halfway across the world. Wonder why, like the climate's getting erratic and the local areas are seeing more droughts. But so yeah, having the flooded fields actually recharges aquifers. It helps the native species.
And will stop a dust bowl from forming also.
And it will stop a dust bowl from forming.
Always want that.
Yeah, but
Yes,
one of those
that's-
cool things we do is the bokashi. Not the bokashi, but the EM1. So it's basically this slurry of beneficial microbes. We dump it into the water source, and it just goes through the whole field and helps supercharge the organic cycle, basically nitrogen cycle.
Cycle, actually.
Well, no, breaking down the organic matter into usable nitrogen.
Right.
And yeah, it does that.
It would work on commercial. It would work anywhere.
Oh, it works anywhere. Yeah.
Anywhere you want.
From
It's-
what I know about it, I can totally see it being even more beneficial in rice because it's like an anaerobic environment. And the EM1, it's anaerobic bacteria.
Exactly.
It's a lot of lactic acid bacteria.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Which-
Exactly. Cool. Yeah. I want to definitely experiment with that and doing our own bokashi stuff with fermentation, feeding the fermented grains to the ducks, improving their gut health and
Oh yeah.
nutrient absorption and everything. Just need more time. I work 2 full-time jobs. I'm a full-time X-ray CT tech at a trauma center.
Yeah.
That's what I did the last 6
Toss a
days.
few acorns in there.
Yeah. So trying to do both has been taxing. All the cool side projects have not happened yet, but
I'm waiting on him.
they're stacking
He
up.
say he's my manager.
Well,
Yeah.
it's about making more rice sales, right?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause,
Yeah.
like, if you can sell more rice, you could do this more time.
Exactly.
Get more of your time doing this.
That's going to happen this year.
Which
And the other cool thing about this is the water reduction. We use about up to 2/3 less water than we normally would for regular organic rice. We do the transplants, so we plant all the starters in a 4,000 square foot area, and then that's for a month. That's just 1 inch deep water. And that will plant all this.
Yeah, we're talking about this little area right here. This bare area right here is what we plant the whole 15 acres in.
From 4,000 square feet of starters. Yeah.
That's a massive
I'll
water.
let you explain the water difference between organic and this real quick, and then we can.
Yeah, organic takes 10 inches of water to start with. Right off the bat, you need 10 inches of water for 18 days straight, and then you can start lowering it. But with this, we start with 3/4 of an inch of water in an area the size of this little muddy pool right here, 4,000 square feet, and it literally plants this entire field. A whole month's worth of rice growing in a
Wait,
4,000 square
so
foot
that's-
area.
that's the water you need just to grow the transplants.
Yeah,
right?
for a month, which is
Okay.
a third of our growing season.
Because when you put the transplants, when they go from in this area where you're growing them in this area to going into the rest of the field.
They're actually grown in our front yard.
Oh. So when it goes from your front yard to the rest of this field, are they transplanted into this field and this field doesn't have standing water? does it have standing
Has an inch, and
Has
then
an
we raise it as the ducks grow.
I see.
Yeah.
As the duck's feet and legs grow, the water grows with the duck legs. It's called the mudding effect. want just enough water where they could swim but touch the ground and keep the mud forming with their toes. They dig it up, they'll dig it up, and all of a sudden all the weeds will pop up and they start eating the weeds right off the bat. And they're digging for weeds and they're looking for everything, and they don't like the rice because of the silica. The glass that's in it keeps them from wanting to eat the rice.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they also, I found a Chinese research paper talking about the enzyme that creates the aroma in rice, which is found in the aromatics, like the long grains, jasmine, basmati. Those genes are also in the cow rows. So the ducks stimulating the rice actually causes more expression of the aroma enzyme, and it creates a more fragrant variety, product.
It smells like rice out here.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
in general, like the first time I come out of the car, I instantly detected like, oh, I'm in rice country. There are rice fields. It smells like I just stuck my head in a bag of rice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, wait till you get to
To harvest.
harvest.
Harvest time.
Oh, so you guys you're gonna be on the road, but
Yeah.
if you're in the neck of the woods in October, swing on through. Put you on a harvester.
It would be awesome.
Well, not if
But yeah,
not
that's
this
a
one.
that's a
Maybe
huge
next October.
contrast.
Yeah.
Like you said. So basically, the standing water only needs to be 1 inch.
Yep.
You have the ducks coming through weeding
Yeah.
versus 10 inches if
Right
you
on.
want to prevent the weeds from growing.
Mm-hmm. You drown
in
the
like an
weeds.
organic situation.
Yeah.
Versus then say like a conventional situation, they would just be using pesticides, right? All the stuff we don't want.
Exactly.
Yep.
One after another, airplane flying over and over and over again. Oh, I think they're,
Oh. They're getting feisty. Are they mating over there already? That's crazy.
I don't know if they're mating or what.
Got away.
Yep.
No, thank you.
No, thank
No,
you.
thank
Not
you.
today.
Yeah, not today. But I forgot what we're saying.
Yeah. So just talking about like less water use,
Less
no
water.
pesticide use.
Yeah.
Both this and the organic method have no pesticide use. But the organic method it sounds like organic compared to conventional
Uses more
substitutes
water.
for
Chemicals.
herbicide.
Yep.
And duck rice compared to organic substitutes duck for more water.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's how you end up using, was it 2/3 less
Up to
water?
2/3 less water than.
2/3 less water.
That's if we're using the deep water method the entire season. You
Right.
know, 10
What you
inches,
do.
What you do. They're starting to experiment with like alternating wetting and drying. So you dry out the field after about 50 days or something like that when the weeds are suppressed, and you kind of allow for, it basically reduces some of the greenhouse gases because you're not in this anaerobic environment anymore.
And that's the other part that it erases is 2/3 of the methane gas.
Yeah, all the ducks, oxygenating the roots and the soil, it just disrupts that methane production process.
Interesting.
So you get and you can imagine 500,000 acres of rice. That's a lot of methane production. So the ducks disrupt that.
So it sounds like,
Not completely, but they do make a noticeable impact on that.
and you even talked this through earlier about setting this up for like trialing. You could do rapid iteration, but you've set up here like a gold mine for university research.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
It
yeah.
sounds like there's an infinite number of things that they could look at here, just talking about methane production, reaction of the rice to being stimulated, duck behavior.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
It's like that also kind of gets to like kind of understand, because this is a very ancestral system.
Yes.
I can imagine people have been doing this for thousands of years.
They have been, yeah.
And as we mechanized, got to large scale cultivation, we moved away from this because the first layer of machines we developed were like simplified machines for doing very simple things, but at a massive scale, like the weeder or like a combine or whatever. And all of the complicated variables involved in these ducks living in this rice paddy are things that, like, how do you reconcile that with massive scale? And that's maybe
coming up.
partly why we moved away from it. But now we're going to be moving back towards it because the benefits of this are just, undeniable and now measurable, right?
Well,
And necessary.
if you want to go, if you got like another 5 minutes, so you can go into this.
Sure.
So I've been trying to think about, like, my whole life I've been into automation and all that stuff.
A big bumblebee.
Oh, and basically, the issue with like UBI and when we go full automation, it is, where do you find your sense of purpose when you don't have work? That's kind of like the big question mark. It's like the inevitable march of technological progress will lead us there, but how do we keep our sense of purpose and value in a post-work society? And I was thinking, well, shoot, since the cost of living is functionally going to be dropping to, very little, and because automation and production and everything like that, we would just start having people go back to farming. It's farming encapsulates the whole human experience, the struggle, the trials, tribulations, the creative thinking, problem solving, feeding your community, building community, and we got to build community with farming and the people before things collapse a little bit and get unstable, and then we all just kind of like fighting for resources and I don't got food, but my neighbor does, and I have no way to make it. But if we can start really building up this whole farming community, having people, basically sublet or sublease plots of land, if they have a cool idea, we would let them come out here, help build a brand attached to our brand, and then have the robots just come pick up the produce and go deliver it to the city. It's like you still got that.
Or do the work that's particularly drudgerous.
Right. Yeah. So it's like go for it, Dad.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So basically, you got all the tediousness of farming, the hot days and long days and everything. Have the robots out here being a duck shepherd or whatever in the hottest part of the day. But ideally though, we try to instill that sense of purpose in people, keep it going. Unfortunately, probably start piecing out, if we could talk other farmers into it after it starts making sense and they're not financially constrained and this is all taking place and think life is easier because of automation, minus everybody unemployed. Okay. We start leasing out some of the land, and then people kind of go back to farming.
Yeah.
Techno-agrarian society is what it's called. That's what I'm coining it.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Keep just before that out there, it's like manifesting.
Oh, I am.
But just before all that happens, first we're going to take and start with using the. I had it there. Now you blew it for me.
No.
Well, we're going to use the drill seeder. You forgot to mention that. That's when he was asking the question, what's the next step? The next step is drill seeding using the weeder. This way it now becomes usable for a big scale. Mm-hmm. This is made for like small scale, 3 to 5 acres.
If you were to drill seed with this transplanter, so this is...
Well, no. There's a drill seeder that's actually, you could make one that's 60 feet wide that would just do this whole check all at once. Wow. Mm-hmm. They just they add on to them.
Would you tow it with a normal tractor or with that rice?
Normal tractor.
No, normal tractor with GPS.
So would you be planting into this, like the ground would be moist but not flooded?
Exactly.
I see. So then you'd have emergence with no water over top. And then...
well, actually, if you want to get technical, let's get this right. First thing we do is we flood the field, take all the water off it, create a weed bed out there that is all dry land and wetland weeds. Now we go through, when it's just dry enough to put the tractor on it, you use the cultivator sled. Covers the top inch of the soil, kills all the weeds, has a roller right behind it, packs the soil. Now your soil's packed, ready to go. As soon as it's able to put a drill seeder on it, you would put a drill seeder with rows a foot apart with 10 inches spacings, just like we would do with our transplanter. And now you would create the same 6-foot weeder that we have. We now make a 15-foot weeder that would take and go down the exact same rows that you went before. Just say you had a 30-foot what do you call it?
Seeder.
Drill seeder. You do a 15-foot weeder. Cultivator. This way you could just go down and up and it would cover the exact same trails. And it has GPS on it, so it should go perfect. Dialed in.
So then at that point, you're planting the pre-germinated seeds, and you've got maybe 2 weeks or something for their established.
A month.
So
a whole month of water savings.
But when's the gap between when you plant the seed and when you can have ducks in? At what point are the
3 inches tall?
3 inches tall?
Yeah.
About a month.
So about a month. So
yeah.
So then would you have to come through with the cultivator a few more times to keep it clean?
Yeah.
Or?
Oh yeah.
That's just it. If you have ducks, you don't need the cultivator.
But it's that month of
a month of water savings is when you don't have water on your soil for that.
But you're going to have the dryland weeds still kind of coming up too. So you got to cultivate that. Yeah.
Oh, but so for that first month, it's dry. It's not flooded.
It's just dry. A bare field.
Bare field, but I mean, obviously there's moisture in the ground.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Moisture
The
in
moisture
the
is
ground.
trapped in the ground,
That the rice is growing. So it's growing like upland rice.
Yep.
Like upland dry rice for the first 30 days of its life. You might cultivate it once or twice. Well, obviously there's a cultivation right before you plant, and then maybe another cultivation like 14 days.
yeah. Well,
And then at 30 days, that's when you would flood the field and let the ducks in.
exactly.
Something like that.
Yep. So now, so the issue, the choke point with the transplanting method is we don't have the infrastructure, the factories to make hundreds of millions of rice trays, like Japan does. So we couldn't expand this to every farmer in California. It would be, but if you do the drill seeding, you still get the month of water savings, and then you get to use the ducks. And then if farmers don't want to use ducks, they can use the weeder, right? And then they just go through, and now you can have all of rice be organic and have the water savings. And you're doing just a few more passes through the field when it's growing.
And I get the impression that a big part of what you envision in this is you're putting together like the label, the company, the brand that markets this style of rice growing that has all of these environmental benefits.
Exactly.
And you want to grow this, and as you're able to grow demand for your rice to consumers and buyers who want this quality of rice, you'll be able to recruit more farmers, and that's how you scale the supply side and the production side.
You got it. That's 100% it. Yeah, yeah. It's like our stamp of approval. It's like these guys are doing it the right way. We help. They attach to our network and everything, and
We've already given it away.
Yeah,
It's already in the books.
And we promote them, help them build up their brand. Now they're making $3 a pound instead of the 30 cents, and we're
Everybody helping each other.
Yeah, you have like a 10-acre field, you
Turn it into 30 acres.
turn it into 30 acres at $3 a pound.
Wow.
Actually, it was 50, wasn't it? 50 acres. We turned our 200 acres into 1,000. So
Yeah. So 10x
10x
in the profits
10 times
by
the
building your own brand, milling your own rice, and then selling it out. So I also started.
Or come to Lopes Family Farms,
Yeah.
Ducks and Rice,
Yes.
and we will help you.
The way you would really scale it is if that machine is then driven by a GPS guided AI.
That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
AI.
you got it.
And it's a battery
It's out.
powered tractor.
A battery powered.
It's got a solar panel on it.
Yeah. Oh
it
yeah.
does it.
Solar panel as the shade structure.
Yeah.
There is a $60,000 model of that out.
Oh yeah, they got.
It's been out for 2 years.
Oh, it's been out for a long time.
That
Steers
exact.
itself with GPS.
Yeah, and then the guy when he wants to fill it up, oh, come on over to me.
Yeah. Yep.
Back up. Here we go. Everything's good. Then he puts the stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's planned out to the size of the field, to the length of how it. The Japan's just really into it, This is going to go exactly so far,
And
and
then
that's
if you want that to scale for ducks, instead of having the cultivator, or you could have both, you just got a giant like automated feeding trough.
Yep.
That's on that thing.
And it just,
Yeah.
You got a giant
like
thing
that
of
thing
meal-
that I showed you over there. That you just put the seed in, and you drive it.
meal
It just
work.
drops it on the ground right behind you.
Yeah.
And it's pre-programmed to know every 12 hours, 18 hours, it moves forward like 100 feet and then drops some
Ooh.
more.
Yeah.
And then that way it's just inching its way across.
Yeah.
And the ducks are constantly clustered
And it's
around
all
it.
electric too, so
yeah, all
it doesn't
electric.
cost you anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Solar
And
panel
it
battery,
automatically goes to your neighbor's property and hooks up to their electricity.
It's on the creepy little snake arm.
Yeah. the charging tentacle.
I don't know. It wigs me out, guys.
It does. It does.
That's where they start getting to the scary side.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our vision for, what this is going to be in the long run. We want to try and make it easy for other farmers to convert, try and make,
People don't like ducks, we give them fish.
yeah, there's also fish rice farming. There's crab rice farming. I don't know how.
Crab rice farming? Whoa.
Everything.
crabs.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know if that would be good, introducing crabs into our environment, but
No, they already did that and it's not good.
yeah, I figured.
Because you got to worry about the crabs.
But if
getting
you
into
just-
that canal.
Yeah,
over there,
but if you
right?
just get the fish from the canal channel catfish, then you're.
It's already acclimatized for this
Yeah,
type of water.
they have the same effects as the ducks.
Have you caught any channel catfish?
Oh yeah,
It's
Yeah,
like
they-
all the time growing up.
they get like that big.
Oh, wow.
Have you ever
Yeah.
thrown any into your patties?
No,
before?
no.
See, he was around. The fish only got this big. When I was little, they got that big.
Yeah.
Not exaggerating,
Yeah,
folks.
they're probably alphas.
3
Yeah.
foot, 3.5 footers,
The last ones I've seen were like that big in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
or this big.
Yeah. I was like,
The last one I saw was
Yeah.
literally that big.
That's on the list of side projects.
Yes.
Right? Catch the catch the canal catfish and throw them in the patio.
Exactly.
And see what happens.
And see
right?
what happens,
See
exactly.
what happens.
So yeah, we're just trying to figure out a way to make this work for all of California. All
Thanks,
right, well,
guys,
hey,
for doing this interview.
I'm Christopher,
I'm Bruce.
and we're Lopes Farms, Ducks and Rice.
Awesome.
Not only ducks and rice in the field, but ducks and rice on your plate.
That's right, yes.
I like it.
And wait,
Thanks.
one last thing.
You coming in with it?
You ready? And it is really yummy.
It is the most yummy, yes.
Thanks for having us, guys. It's
Hey,
been a
thank you for
pleasure
coming out.
coming to Lopes
Always,
Family
always a
Farms.
pleasure.
And I love seeing these innovative systems at work. And I could watch ducks just looking for food all the time. I think you definitely got something there with like a
live stream.
a live stream, maybe a lo-fi channel. Nice.
It's
nice
funny you say
channel.
that. There's a channel called Lo-Fi Duck, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
We're gonna